Hi, I'd just like to take a few minutes to create an introduction to a recording which is due to follow. It was a recording that was made in April 2020 on behalf and for the Festival of the Middle Way. It consists of 20 minutes of meditation instruction. It starts off with the limbering, very short limbering session. Then we proceeded to practice pranayama, two aspects of pranayama, and then there was silent sitting, and then there was a question and answer session. Very short and concise. So it's always good to limber the body before meditation, just to ease out tension, tightness. It just makes ease for sitting. The techniques that I used for that session was the alternate nostril breathing. So the right nostril then is associated with sun and sun dynamic warm energy. The left nostril is associated with moon, feminine, soft energy. And with the alternate nostril breathing, we're alternating the inhale and exhale through both nostrils equally. And what we're looking for is balance of the two polarities. It is also said that the left brain is associated with the right nostril and the right brain is associated with the left nostril. And so when we practice the alternate nostril breathing, we're attempting to bring the two opposites into balance. Quite significantly, there is a school of yoga, Swara Yoga, Swara. Swara Yoga is a study of the subtle breath. It is also said in this school that the right nostril will become dominant every 90 minutes, and the left nostril will become dominant every 90 minutes. So there's a sort of balancing situation going on with the flow of the dominance of the left and right brain. And the significant aspect of this is when the changeover takes place, when the two hemispheres or the nostril flow is equal on both sides. That's another science in itself. So I thought that was interesting to do for our meditation session for that particular event. After practicing the alternate nostril breathing with the physical hands for a few moments, we let that go, and then we proceeded to practice the psychic equivalent of that, which was just sitting and manipulating the breath in and out, just sitting and just actually just visualizing that inflow and outflow of breath. And that really serves to introduce us to a more subtle, well, it's called psychic aspect of the breathing. By the time we've practiced a few rounds of that, you could imagine that we're very quiet. And so then we were able to sit silently for a moment or two. And then eventually there was a short question and answer session. So I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, this yogic path is really beautiful. And thank you so much. Namaste. Inhale onto, exhale down. And again, breath with movement. Just opening the chest here. Good. Lovely. And just a practical twist. Take the arms up and reach up, up, up. Exhale, turn to the right. Just twist to the right gently. Inhale to center, exhale to left. And just repeat a few more of those twists. Try to find the core, the center. Challenge the muscles around the torso. As if you're wringing out a cloth. Try and find your kidneys even. Lovely. And eventually, coming back to center, breathe in, exhale, arms down. Great. So, any tension that you've imposed on the body, just ease the body out if you need to. Great. Okay. Okay, so that's just a bit of limbering there. So what we'll practice now is the tangible alternate nostril breathing. I've listened a lot to Ian's work over the past few days. Really fascinating stuff. Left brain, right brain. In the yogic context, you've got the right nostril, which represents the sun energy, which is connected to the left brain. And then you've got the left nostril, which represents the moon, or feminine energy, connected to the right brain. So by practicing alternate nostril breathing, the idea is to balance the two. I'm not going to say, well, I could say brain hemispheres, but balancing the left, the right, the solar and the moon energy. So that's why I thought it'd be good to practice that today. So there's a whole sort of school of yoga called Swara Yoga, where they concentrate just on the breathing. It's a whole fascinating school. And one idea of that is that the one nostril becomes dominant every 90 minutes. So 90 minutes, right brain is dominant, another 90 minutes. So it's a constant sort of balancing. And there's a point where they're both nostrils are open at the same time. It's quite fascinating. I've tested it, but maybe I'll just con myself into believing it. I don't know. There's something going on there, I think, So let's just practice some alternate nostril breathing. So if you can take your right hand up, and these two fingers, which finger is it? The ring finger, is it? And the thumb, just for simplicity. And you've got the two fingertips on the flesh of the nostrils, right? So when you're sitting, try not to be sort of here, try to sit a bit tall and open. Good. Now, open both nostrils. Breathe out through both nostrils. Close the right nostril. Breathe in through the left. Close the left, open right. Breathe out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, open left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left, open right. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, open left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, close the left, open right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close the right, open left, exhale through the left. Just continue with that pattern. Soft, rhythmical breath. And then the next level, try to let the count be for a count of 4 for each breath. Just keep the awareness on the breathing. Great. Just doing one more round now. When you arrive at the left nostril once more, release the hand and just continue the same rhythmical breath that you set up. Continue the same pattern of breath. Good. Placing the hands on the knees once more, thumb meeting the index finger. Nice tall body, bit of space in the armpits. Find a balance between the left and the right body, between the front and the back. Let the shoulders melt down. Keep the same sort of soft rhythms of the breathing. Chaos sternum, body stillness now. Body stillness. And it's a prerequisite to meditation in the yogic world. In all meditations, I would imagine, we can slouch in the body, but we can also have a nice, firm posture. Feel the balance position. Feel the balance position between the left and right body. Visualize your body. Imagine you could see yourself. As if you could see yourself in a full-length mirror. See yourself from the left side, from the right side. See yourself from the front, from the back. See yourself above and from below. Imagine you could see yourself from all sides at the same time. Feel grounded and rooted like a tree. Like the legs are like roots. The body's like the trunk. The arms are like branches. Feel any sensations in the body. Scanning from top of the head down to the toes. From the toes to the top of the head. What sensations are there? Tingling, itching, tightness, tension, whatever, really. Keeping the body completely still. Total immobility, steadiness, stillness. Develop a feeling of psychic rigidity. Total immobility. As if you're frozen. Bring your awareness back to the breath as it flows. Feel the breath moving through both nostrils. Turn your attention to the left nostril. Inhale in the left nostril. Exhale down the right nostril. Inhale in the right nostril. Exhale down the left nostril. Next round. Inhale left nostril. Exhale right nostril. Inhale right. Exhale left. Just continue a few more rounds, going for a count of 4 for each breath. Keep your attention the next time that you come to the left nostril. Inhale through both nostrils. Leaving the breath awareness behind as you begin to just sit in. Nothing happening. Just be there. Let's be here for a minute.
the connection that we have, the hand position, the thumb meeting the tip of the index finger, represents a lot of things, but one of the ideas is the connection. Feel the connection itself, feel the connection with all those that are going through the same challenge, change, transition. Feel that connection itself and a larger idea. Eventually, from where you're sitting, gently tilt the head slightly forward. Softly bring the eyes open if they were closed and raising the face to look forward. Great. So there's the yoga experience. So I hope you got something from that. And yeah, let's see. Okay, so yeah.
Really great. Thank you so much, Tony.
Something different, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the attention to detail around the posture.
Right.
And the movement really brought it to life for me as well. You know,
Good.
I do meditation. I'm quite active, and I'm not great at bringing the two together. So that was
yeah. Good. I'm glad. Anyone else got any comments or anything? Or? No.
Yes.
Sorry.
Lou, go ahead.
Yes, I particularly in yoga generally, I really appreciate it when all movement is connected to using the breath.
Yeah.
From the beginning, because
right.
I for a long time when I started doing yoga, I realized it was almost, you know, trying to push to do things, whereas as soon as you start using the breath for movement,
yeah, it's a very important part of that. Yeah,
it's sort of like you're releasing into doing things rather than pushing into doing.
Rather than pushing, yeah.
Surrender.
Yeah, so important is the breath.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Robin, are you raising your hand or Simon?
Hello. Thank you so much for that. It was really incredible. My question was about when we were sitting in stillness and doing the alternate nostril breathing without using our fingers. If you could just talk a little more about that, whether it's because it isn't possible to completely block one nostril, but what is the significance of paying attention to one particular nostril?
So the alternate nostril breathing with the hands, we sort of understand that it's very practical. I think the psychic alternate nostril breathing, it's got different names as well. I haven't explored it to deep depth, but the reason why it appeals to me, because I'm aware that it's sort of like an energy practice. It's like an energy practice, and it's working with more the subtle energy, the subtle energy, and it's intensely concentrated, and we're working on a different level. So, like for example, if I work with the alternate nostril breathing here, it's definitely more tangible, and there's more physical movement. You can feel the breath moving. But when you do it at the psychic level, you do it on a psychic level. So it's like psychic energy, subtle energy, mind energy, and so it becomes more intensifying. That's the only way I can put it.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
So when we practice it more and more, when we practice a lot of yoga and meditation and stuff, we do become more aware of the subtle nature of the prana, you know, the prana, it's psychic flow. So that's the only way I can answer that. But it is quite a profound practice.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Robin.
Hi. Yes, I really enjoyed your the style of the way that you present things. That's really enjoyable. It was and accessible. That made it really enjoyable as well. I was wondering what the name of the yoga breathing school that you mentioned is, please.
The yoga breathing school.
Yeah.
Well, the techniques that I use in this particular session was from the Satyananda Yoga tradition, and it's the Bihar school. The Bihar school of yoga and Satyananda Yoga. So they're quite tantric. But my background is, like Julian pointed out, is really broad.
Mm-hmm.
The Ashtanga Vinyasa, the Iyengar Yoga. I've done quite a lot, but I'm very influenced these days by the Satyananda Yoga school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing. If I could, oh, sorry, does that answer the question?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
I just wanted to say a profound thing that I realized, because when I started the Hatha Yoga, for whatever reason, but the meditation, I got involved with the Zen school of meditation. And for years, I didn't practice yogic meditation. So for years, I practiced Zen school. And we know that can be quite sort of dry and sort of linear and very simple. So the school folded after a while. So there was no meditation school to go to. And then I got dragged into the yoga meditation. So the yoga meditation then consists, with the Satyananda Yoga school, it consists of meditation on chakras, colors, sounds, and abstract ideas. What I found was I was getting dragged away into this sort of all these ideas of chakras and everything. But I'm lucky that I was grounded in the Zen. So there's a lot of people who get involved with the colors and they get pleasure from that. So instead of using it as a tool, they get trapped in the ecstasy of, oh, that felt lovely. But actually, it's not about feeling lovely. It's about using that as a tool. So I class myself as being very lucky to have that sort of, I'm not supposed to get involved with that really. It's nice, but I can leave it. So the attachment, it's sort of hedonistic type of, so
is there a difference then between the kind of the joy or the bliss that you get from the experience and the enjoying it in an attached way? Is that the difference?
I think I think personally, I can enjoy the mantra, or I can enjoy the yantra, or I can enjoy the realization, but it's realizing that that's not the goal. It's just to move on from that. I don't know if that answers the question. Okay. Whereas with the Zen, it's just all passive, it's all fleeting, everything is changing, impermanence. Just stay on the path instead of getting trapped, or I want to hold on to this mantra, or I want to hold on to this yoga posture. You know what I mean? And I want to do head.
But we are allowed to enjoy the experience, you know, that's the difference, isn't it? Without being attached to it.
Yeah, we are. Well, I'm more of an aesthetic person anyway. I'm like a bread and water person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Put me in a cell, bread and water, I'll be happy. But cause I'm quite that way, you know what I mean? But not everybody is. So enjoyment is part of it. You know, but going back to what Bryn said about the breath, you know, the breath is the journey. You know, once we're accustomed to that breath, that will take us in, and it gets more subtle until we do start practicing psychic breath. We're doing all that type of work. So it's so important. So, yeah.
Good. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
So are there any other, yeah, sorry, Blue, carry on.
No, I was just saying thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and hope to see you guys again in the future.
Tony, before you go, do you want to mention your website?
Oh, yes.
Social media presence or anything that you have?
Yeah, well, sadhana sadhana means spiritual practice. sadhana sadhana.org.uk. So yeah, I mean, it needs updating. I mean this virus has affected everything. You know, people had websites, but actually the website that they had before is obsolete now, isn't it? If you think about it. Well, yes, keep in touch. Come quick, let's go to Ian's session. What's left of it?
Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye for now.
Bye now. Bye.